The solar system shook as massive alien ships moved into human space. Commander James Carter of the Battlestar Galactica watched them carefully. The ships were huge, with strange shapes and surfaces that shined with unknown energy. James felt a chill. He had seen many battles in his life but nothing like this. The aliens were far more advanced than anything humans had ever faced. On the Galactica, scientists worked quickly. Dr. Emily Harper studied the alien signals, trying to understand their language and technology. She spoke with urgency. "We need to know their plans," she said. Her team typed fast, analyzing patterns and strange lights that pulsed across the alien hulls. Every detail mattered. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Anna Wells ran the defense systems. She moved through the control room, giving orders and checking every alert. "Fighter squads, prepare for launch," she commanded. Pilots hurried to their ships, strapping in and checking weapons. The humans could not afford mistakes. Every colony, every ship was at risk. Outside the main stations, alien drones began to move. They flew silently but quickly, scanning the outer colonies. When they attacked, the humans saw their deadly power. Small ships were destroyed with perfect precision. Civilians watched from shelters, their hearts racing. The attacks were shocking, but humans did not give in. James Carter gathered his officers. "We must be smart. We cannot match them in strength, but we can use our minds. Strategy will save us." His voice was calm but strong. The crew nodded. Everyone understood. Courage alone would not win this fight. Careful planning and teamwork were just as important. Emily Harper studied a flashing pattern on her screen. "These ships are not just weapons," she said. "They are thinking. They adjust every move. If we want to survive, we have to predict their choices." She felt both fear and excitement. Humans had never faced a challenge like this before. Anna Wells directed the first human counterattack. Fighters launched from hidden bays, moving fast and silent. They tried to strike the alien drones, dodging deadly energy blasts. The pilots felt the thrill of battle mixed with fear. Some ships were lost, but they learned quickly. Every skirmish taught them more about the enemy. On the colonies, people helped in any way they could. Engineers repaired damaged ships. Civilians transported supplies. Even children watched and learned, understanding that this was a fight for survival. The spirit of humanity shone through fear. No one wanted to give up. The alien ships hovered closer to the inner colonies. James Carter stood on the bridge watching the stars. He thought of Earth, of the people he loved, and of the crew he commanded. Humanity had been tested many times before, but never like this. He whispered to himself, "We will not fall. Not today." As night fell across the colonies, strange lights flashed in space. The aliens were everywhere, yet humans were ready. Every ship, every person played a part. They could not beat the aliens with force alone, but with courage, brains, and teamwork they had a chance. The first battle was only the beginning. James Carter looked at the stars one more time. "We will survive," he said. And in that moment, every officer, every pilot, and every scientist felt the same determination. Humanity was small in the face of the alien fleet, but their will was mighty. They were ready to fight no matter the cost. Captain Robert Lane led a squadron of Galactica fighters into space. The alien scouts were fast and deadly, but the humans moved with courage and careful planning. Each attack was dangerous. The aliens' weapons were powerful, and their ships could take hits that would destroy human vessels. Yet Robert and his pilots learned quickly. They studied every move the aliens made and used clever tactics to strike weak points. In the shipyards, engineers worked without stopping. David Ross and his team added new weapons and improved shields on every fighter and larger ship. Some of the technology was experimental, untested in real battle. Every test felt like a gamble, but it was necessary. David watched each update carefully, knowing that even small improvements could save lives. On Earth, President Eleanor Wright addressed the world. She spoke calmly but with strength. "We must work together," she said. "Every fleet, every colony, every person has a role to play. Humanity's survival depends on unity, courage, and cleverness." Her words gave hope. People listened and acted. Governments, scientists, and ordinary citizens joined forces like never before. Civilians took part in the effort. Factories ran day and night, building ships, supplies, and weapons. Communications teams kept lines open between colonies and fleets. Every message, every repair, every meal delivered to the soldiers mattered. Even small actions could save a life or make a difference in a battle. The humans realized that victory would not come from brute strength alone. It came from teamwork, planning, and determination. Captain Robert Lane led another sortie. His pilots dodged alien fire and returned quick strikes. They learned to anticipate alien attacks and use their small numbers to their advantage. Every pilot returned with new knowledge, which engineers and commanders used to improve tactics. Human ingenuity was becoming a weapon just as powerful as lasers or missiles. On the Galactica, Commander James Carter coordinated the fleet. He watched maps and signals, making decisions in seconds. Every choice counted. He knew one wrong move could cost many lives. But he also saw bravery, intelligence, and hope everywhere he looked. Humanity was small compared to the alien forces, but their determination was fierce. Dr. Emily Harper studied alien signals, trying to find patterns in their attacks. She discovered small weaknesses, moments when the aliens hesitated or moved predictably. She shared her findings with the commanders. "We can use this," she said. "If we strike at the right time, we can turn their advantage against them." Her words lifted spirits. Knowledge was a weapon too. Meanwhile, civilians on colonies watched the battles with fear and hope. Children and families cheered small victories. Engineers repaired damaged ships. Farmers and workers sent supplies to the fleet. Everyone played a role. Humans learned that courage was not just for soldiers, it was for everyone who refused to give up. The alien scouts continued their attacks, but the humans adapted. They set traps and ambushes, surprising the aliens with tactics no one expected. Small victories gave confidence. The pilots and commanders realized that they could fight back, not just survive. Every victory, no matter how small, mattered. David Ross tested a new shield system on one of the Galactica fighters. The pilot, Lieutenant Anna Wells, flew through a simulated attack. The shields held. "This will save lives," Anna said. Engineers and pilots smiled. Every improvement, every plan, made a difference in the battle for survival. President Eleanor Wright watched the updates from Earth. She saw reports of successful sorties, repaired ships, and brave civilians helping the effort. She knew the fight was far from over, but she also saw something stronger than fear. Humanity's spirit was growing. Humans were not just fighting with weapons, they were fighting with intelligence, courage, and hope. Captain Robert Lane returned from another mission. His squadron had pushed back alien scouts for the first time in days. He reported to James Carter. "We are learning," Robert said. "We can do this if we keep fighting smart." James nodded. "Then we will fight smart," he replied. "And we will survive." Even as new alien threats appeared, humans stayed ready. Civilians, pilots, engineers, and scientists all worked together. Every action counted. Each person understood that victory depended on teamwork, courage, and determination. Humanity was small, but it was clever, resourceful, and brave. They were beginning to show that they could face any challenge, no matter how strong the enemy seemed. The solar system remained tense, full of dangers and unknown threats. Yet humans were prepared. They had learned that survival was not just about weapons or numbers, it was about courage, intelligence, and the ability to act together. Every person, every ship, every colony played a role. Humanity was fighting back, and they were beginning to show the aliens that humans were not to be underestimated. The human losses were rising, but the Battlestar Galactica was ready. Commander James Carter gave the order to activate the ship's full power. Hidden compartments opened, revealing advanced weapons and stealth fighters that had been kept secret. Humans had prepared this for the worst moment, and now it had arrived. Engineer David Ross worked quickly in the control room. He activated the procedure that would push human ships beyond normal limits. Engines roared, shields glowed brighter, and weapons hummed with energy. Pilots felt a sudden rush of speed as their ships moved faster than ever before. The aliens watched in surprise. They had never seen humans use such power. Lieutenant Anna Wells led a squadron of fighters. She gave orders with precision, moving through the alien fleet like a hawk through a flock of birds. Each strike was planned, each maneuver calculated. The pilots followed her commands perfectly, striking weak points in the alien formations. They moved fast, attacked hard, and disappeared before the aliens could react. On the Galactica, Commander James Carter watched the battle unfold on the large display. Alien ships that had been confident and strong were now struggling. Human strategy, speed, and coordination were proving too much for them. Every small victory gave the human crews hope and courage. David Ross monitored the energy systems and shields. "Keep pushing," he shouted to the pilots through the comms. "We can do more than they expect." The pilots felt the power of the Galactica behind them, giving them strength and confidence. Human ships moved with a combination of speed, precision, and firepower that stunned the aliens. The aliens tried to adapt. Their commanders shouted orders, but their ships were slower and less flexible. Every time they changed formation, human pilots had already found the new weak spots. It was as if humans could see the future, predicting their enemies' moves and striking before they could respond. Squadrons of stealth ships appeared from hidden stations. They struck deep into the alien lines, hitting targets that no human ship had ever reached before. Explosions lit up space as alien ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. The humans had the advantage now, not just in courage but in technology and planning. Lieutenant Anna Wells coordinated attacks with other squadron leaders. They used signals, lights, and patterns that the aliens could not understand. Every strike, every maneuver was a part of a larger plan. They attacked together like a single mind, and the alien fleet could not keep up. Commander James Carter smiled. "This is what I have been waiting for," he said quietly. "Human ingenuity, bravery, and teamwork at full strength. They can't beat us now." Around him, the crew worked in perfect rhythm, each person knowing their role. Humans had become more than fighters. They were a force of skill and determination. David Ross noticed one group of alien ships breaking formation. "They're confused," he said. "They don't know what to do." Emily Harper added, "We've learned their patterns. Every movement they make, we can counter." Humans were no longer reacting. They were controlling the battle. The alien commanders grew frustrated. They had faced strong enemies before but never one like this. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and fast. Every strike seemed to come from nowhere, every retreat led to another surprise attack. The aliens had assumed humans were weak, but now they realized their mistake. Captain Robert Lane led his squadron on a daring attack through the center of the alien formation. His fighters moved at impossible speeds, dodging fire and hitting the heart of the enemy fleet. Explosions followed, shaking the alien ships and forcing them apart. The humans had learned to use speed and precision as weapons, and it worked better than anyone could have imagined. The tide of battle had changed completely. What had seemed impossible only hours before was now real. Humans were winning. Each small victory built on the last, and the aliens could not recover. For the first time they faced an enemy they could not predict or control. On the Galactica, Commander Carter looked at the displays of the battle. "We are stronger than they thought," he said. "And we are just getting started." Around him the crew nodded. Every soldier, pilot, and engineer felt the power of their teamwork and skill. Humanity was not just surviving, it was fighting back with full strength. Even civilians on the colonies watched with hope. Reports came in of alien retreats, of successful strikes, of brave pilots returning safely. People who had worked tirelessly to build ships, weapons, and supplies now saw the results. Their work mattered. Everyone had a role, and humanity was using every advantage it had. The aliens continued to attack, but it was different now. Humans were no longer on the defensive. Every move was calculated, every strike was effective, and every pilot knew the plan. The aliens were shocked to face such cleverness, courage, and power. Lieutenant Anna Wells led a final strike against the largest alien cruiser. Her squadron moved together, shields flashing, weapons firing. The cruiser exploded in a brilliant burst of light. Human ships cheered over comms. They had done it. A huge victory had been won. Commander James Carter turned to David Ross. "You and your team made this possible," he said. David smiled, proud but focused. "We all did it," he replied. "This is humanity at its best." The battle was far from over, but the humans had shown what they could do when they used every skill, every tool, and every bit of courage they had. The aliens had learned a hard lesson. Humans were small, but when united and at full power, they could be unstoppable. Human ingenuity had grown stronger than ever. Scientists, engineers, and tacticians worked together, sharing ideas and plans. Dr. Emily Harper had created a system that could interfere with alien communications. Through it, human pilots could strike with speed and surprise. The aliens could not coordinate properly, and confusion spread through their fleet. Every signal they sent was scrambled or delayed, and human forces used it to their advantage. Commander James Carter led the Galactica and the fleet on a bold move. He aimed straight for the alien motherships. The ships were massive, armed with powerful weapons, but James was calm and focused. He knew that this push would be dangerous, but it was the chance humanity had been waiting for. Pilots followed his lead, moving in perfect formation. They attacked with precision, striking at weak points Emily's system had revealed. Lieutenant Anna Wells flew at the front, leading a squadron through the chaos. Her eyes scanned the battlefield constantly, her mind calculating every move. "Keep your formation tight," she told the pilots. "Watch for any openings. Strike together." Her words guided them like a compass. The aliens tried to fire back, but their signals were delayed, and humans struck first every time. On the alien ships, commanders shouted orders in confusion. Where are the human ships? Why are they attacking here? They demanded. Their crews were panicked. They had underestimated the humans and now their plans were falling apart. Every human attack forced them to retreat or adjust, but they could not stop the tide. Back on the colonies, people watched broadcasts of the battles. Civilians cheered when they saw human ships destroying alien vessels. They sent messages of support to the fleet and worked harder to supply the ships. Farmers, engineers, and families all played a role. They realized that courage and teamwork on Earth were just as important as the battles in space. Every small action contributed to the larger victory. The Galactica and its fleet pressed forward. Humans used every advantage, combining clever tactics with their advanced weapons. Every strike, every maneuver was carefully planned. Even the smallest fighter could make a difference when it hit the right target at the right time. The aliens could no longer control the battlefield. Dr. Emily Harper monitored the communications system. Their signals are falling apart, she said. We can reach every ship before they can react. James Carter nodded. Then we hit them hard. No mercy. Push them back completely. Pilots cheered over comms, energized by the chance to finally fight on equal footing. Captain Robert Lane led a squadron to attack an alien supply station. They dodged heavy fire, moved with speed, and hit the station with precise strikes. Explosions lit up space and alien reinforcements were delayed. Every successful attack weakened the enemy and gave hope to human forces across the system. Lieutenant Anna Wells coordinated with other squadrons, keeping attacks synchronized. Focus on their key ships, she instructed. We hit their command vessels first. Then the rest will scatter. Her plan worked perfectly. Alien fleets began to retreat, their confidence shattered. Humans had learned their patterns, anticipated their moves, and now controlled the flow of battle. On Earth, President Eleanor Wright addressed the people. Today we see the power of unity and courage, she said. Every person, every soldier, every scientist has contributed. Humanity is showing its true strength. Families cheered. Workers smiled as they delivered more supplies. The message was clear. Humans were capable of extraordinary things when they worked together. The final push continued. Galactica fired its main weapons at the largest alien mothership. Smaller ships followed, attacking drones and fighters that tried to defend it. Explosions shook the mothership, and the alien crew struggled to maintain control. Commander James Carter led the attack from the front, showing both bravery and clever tactics. Every move was calculated. Every strike counted. David Ross and his engineering team worked to maximize weapon output. Shields were strengthened, engines pushed to the limit, and new weapons fired in perfect timing. Human ships moved with speed and power, hitting the aliens where they were weakest. The aliens had never faced an enemy this coordinated, this clever, and this determined. Civilians on the colonies continued to cheer. Messages of support flowed through every communication channel. People who had once felt helpless now knew they were part of the victory. Children drew pictures of ships and pilots, inspired by the bravery they saw. Everyone understood that courage, teamwork, and intelligence were as powerful as any weapon. The alien motherships began to break apart under the combined human attacks. Pilots who had faced death now saw the results of their courage. We're doing it. Lieutenant Anna Wells shouted over the comms. Keep pushing. Victory is near. Every pilot answered with determination, moving together like a single unstoppable force. Commander James Carter observed the battlefield. Humans had taken control. The aliens, once confident and terrifying, now retreated in disarray. Their forces were broken and their plans had failed. Humanity had shown that cleverness, courage, and unity could overcome even the strongest enemy. Dr. Emily Harper smiled as she watched the alien communications fail completely. They can't fight us effectively anymore, she said. This is our chance. James Carter nodded. Then we finish it. Human strength will not be ignored. The battle was far from over, but humans had turned the tide. What had seemed impossible at the start of the war was now reality. Civilians, engineers, scientists, pilots, and soldiers had all contributed to this moment. Humanity had shown its full potential, and it was unstoppable when united. Even as alien ships retreated to regroup, humans prepared to defend their victory. Every human knew that courage, teamwork, and intelligence had won the day. And they understood that together, there was no limit to what they could achieve. Humanity had fought back with everything it had. Space was still dangerous, but humans had proven something greater. When united, clever, and brave, they could overcome even the most powerful enemies. The tide had turned and victory was within reach. The alien forces were retreating. Ships that had once seemed unstoppable were now leaving human space. On the colonies, people cheered. Families hugged each other, and workers celebrated the hard work that had helped the fleet survive. Humanity had fought bravely and won, but the battle had taught them to remain alert. Space was vast and full of dangers, and humans knew they could not let their guard down. Commander James Carter walked across the bridge of the Galactica. His eyes scanned the reports from pilots and fleets. Every ship accounted for, every crew member safe, or as safe as they could be after such a fierce fight. He felt pride in the crews, the pilots, and the people on the colonies. They had all played a part. "This victory is ours," he said quietly, "but it is also a reminder. We must always be ready." Captain Robert Lane was with him, checking the incoming reports from squadrons. "We've captured some alien technology," Robert said. "If we study it, we can prepare for future threats." Engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to recover alien weapons, shields, and communication systems. Every piece of technology was carefully examined, tested, and catalogued. Humanity would not be caught unprepared again. Dr. Emily Harper led the research teams. She studied alien systems with fascination and determination. "There is so much to learn," she said. "This knowledge will make us stronger. The aliens underestimated us, but next time, we will be ready for anything." She smiled at the young engineers around her, teaching them and encouraging them to be creative. Every lesson from this war would help humans survive the next one. Lieutenant Anna Wells moved among the pilots and crew, checking on morale. "We've shown what humans can do," she said. "No matter how strong the enemy seems, courage and cleverness can win. Remember that." Her words inspired everyone. Even the newest pilots who had seen their first battles felt a sense of pride and confidence. Humanity was no longer just fighting to survive, they were proving that they could stand against any threat. The Galactica returned to orbit near Earth. From there, the fleet could defend colonies and monitor space for any signs of trouble. Smaller ships patrolled the outer regions, and every system had communication lines open. Humans had learned that vigilance was just as important as bravery. The victory was hard-earned, and it would be protected. People on the colonies helped rebuild and repair what had been damaged. Engineers fixed ships and stations, farmers and workers sent supplies, and families supported each other. Every action mattered. Humans had learned that survival was not just about fighters and weapons, it was about community, teamwork, and courage. The fight had united everyone, and that unity was humanity's greatest strength. Commander Carter gathered his top officers in the Galactica's control room. "We've done something incredible," he said. "We survived a threat that seemed unbeatable. But we must remember, space is full of unknown dangers. We cannot relax." Captain Lane nodded. "Agreed. We prepare for the next challenge while we celebrate this one. That's how humanity survives." David Ross checked the ship's systems one last time. Shields, engines, and weapons were repaired and upgraded. Pilots trained and reviewed battle reports. Every improvement, every small change made humanity stronger. They had won because of skill, courage, and teamwork, and they would remain ready for the next battle. Civilians continued to play an important role. Messages of thanks were sent to the pilots and crews. Schools taught children about the courage of those who fought, and families shared stories of bravery. Even in peace, humans remembered that vigilance was necessary. Every person, no matter their role, had a part in keeping humanity safe. Lieutenant Anna Wells looked out from the bridge at the stars. "We've done something amazing," she said. "We faced a powerful enemy and we won. That proves that humans can do more than survive. We can overcome anything." Her words were simple, but they carried truth. Humanity's courage, intelligence, and teamwork had been tested, and had triumphed. As the Galactica stood in orbit, ready to defend Earth and the colonies, humans knew their work was not over. They would explore, learn, and protect. Commander James Carter felt the weight of responsibility, but also hope. The fleet had proven that human courage and ingenuity were unmatched when united. Even as stars twinkled far in the distance, humans looked to the future with determination. They had survived a great threat, and they had grown stronger because of it. The lessons learned, the teamwork, and the courage displayed would guide them in every challenge to come. The alien threat was gone, at least for now. But humanity was ready. The Battlestar Galactica, with its crew and pilots, stood as a symbol of strength, resilience, and spirit. Earth and all the colonies had defenders who would never give up. Courage, cleverness, and unity had won the day, and they would protect humanity in the days ahead.